Probably the single most important concept in a logix function is that with almost everything you do, you're updating the value of something. And these somethings are known as basic types or data types that Comnico supports. And you will see these types when you click on the input parameters or output parameters of a function. Let's choose, for example, text, and let's name that to in, and we'll set another text in output and we'll name that to out. To update these blocks, you need to set a value to them. And Comnico has a set block for each type. So if we go here and press set, you'll see they all come up. Now we are going to do a set text to show how this works. Here, if I click on the from, Comnico looks for all things that you can set a text from. And because we're on a text slot here, we're being given text type functions. There are also other functions we've created that return text, and there's templates that return a text type. But what I'm interested in is mapping it to the input parameter we created called in. And then I'm going to set that to the output parameter I created called out. And if you click here, you can see they're linked. So now in my in, if I give this a value of hello, and I run this function, you'll see the result is hello in the output. Now what I could have done is just run something in isolation. So if you have a large function doing lots of things, you can choose just to run one bit. Now there's one really special type in Comnico, and that is the data structure type. And a data structure is special because it can hold structured data like JSON, XML, CSV, database records, etc. And you can also build your own data structure. So here I've got a data structure. I could build it up. I could start with an object and I could put a value inside my object. And in fact, if I run that in isolation, you'll see that it builds that object for me. And then I could use that to write to it and read from it. I'm going to delete that and keep it as an empty data structure. And you'll see, again, I've got a set data structure block, which I can use to set to that data structure. And you can do any operation. But with data structures, you can use them to get results from processes that you run. So for example, on this, I could put an API call and it would get the result. I could run a database lookup. I could connect to Supabase and get results. I could run some JavaScript and get results. They all go into a data structure that you can then use. So let me show you a couple of examples of that. First of all, I've got an example here of using a set data structure object to do an API call, which is calling a weather API, and to set that to my data structure result. So if I run this, you will see the result is nicely shown as the result from this weather API, which is an awful lot of stuff there that you could then use. And the beauty of a data structure is that once you've got that, you can use it elsewhere. So I could put a set text block in here, and on the from, I could go and choose some results from my weather API. For example, the content type of the response header, or something in these, the units, etc. So it becomes available to you elsewhere in your function. A second example we have is getting database results. So here I've got a simple database call just to get all countries in my country table from Supabase. And if we run this, you'll see that the result will be a list of country names coming from my country table in Supabase.